Youngstown State basketball looks to seek a postseason title.
And softball and baseball return to Ohio.
All this and more coming up on the Penguin Rundown. Welcome in, everybody. This is the Penguin Rundown. I'm your host, Dom Joseph, alongside Christina Sainovich. We got spring break off, but Youngstown State Athletics kept going.
You know, everybody was in action. A lot of exciting things to talk about, so we're going to start with some tennis.
Let's do it.
The men's tennis team spent the weekend on the West Coast. On Monday, YSU dropped a 6-1 decision to Azusa Pacific, losing 4 of its 6 singles matches in straight sets. Then on Tuesday, the drought continued as the Penguins dropped a 4-3 decision to UC Riverside. The Penguins won all 3 of its doubles matches, but UC Riverside rallied with 4 wins in singles play to win the duel. YSU will return home to host LaSalle on March 15th at the Boardman Tennis Center. Serving over to the women's side, Sophia Macias, Iman Hassim, and Tamara Tufel all picked up singles victories, but suffered a 4-3 loss to Seton Hall. The sledding continued on Tuesday as the women fell to Cal State Northridge 5-2. Noelle Nasimba and Tufel led the way for the Penguins with a pair of wins in singles play collectively. Luca Zagar and Cassandra Moralea picked up YSU's only doubles win. The women fall to 5-9 on the season and will return to action March 17th when they visit Akron. For more information, check out ysusports.com.
Youngstown State junior Chad Zallo finished in impressive 5th place in the 60-meter hurdles finals on Saturday at the NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships at Texas A&M's Gilliam Indoor Stadium. In the prelims on Friday, Zallo ran a time of 7.75 seconds to qualify for the championship finale. Chad was in the fastest of 2 heat races, with 6 of 8 total hurdlers that qualified for the final coming from the same heat that Chad was in. In the championship final on Saturday, Zallo started in lane 1 and had the lead on the rest of the field entering the first set of hurdles. Unfortunately for Zallo, he did not have the pace for some of his fellow competitors and would end up in a photo finish with Liberty University's Javane Atkinson for 4th place. After officials reviewed the finish, Atkinson was credited with a 4th place with a time of 7.713 seconds, Zallo being off the pace by only 7/100ths of a second. When the men's and women's track and field team meet next time, they will begin their outdoor portion of the season on March 30th, as the Penguins will head to Raleigh, North Carolina for the Adidas Raleigh Relays at the Paul Durr Track and Field facility.
The men's basketball team traveled to Detroit over the break to play in the Motor Sydney Mattis tournament. The Gwins took on Cleveland State as they looked to make a conference tournament run. The men, however, fell short on the night as they lost with a final score of 72-71 to end their season. YSU had a chance to win at the buzzer, but fell just short. The team was led by Naz Bohannon. The freshman had 16 points while adding 8 boards. Naz had a strong freshman campaign as he shot 41% from the field and averaged just over 8 rebounds per game while picking up 23 steals and 44 assists. Senior Cam Morris capped off his historic career at YSU with 13 points against Cleveland State as well. Morris's career totals finished with averaging just over 17 points per game, a 41 field goal percentage, and 84 total games started. Good luck to Cam and all of the seniors in their future, and we can't wait to see the team back in action in the fall.
As for the women's basketball team, they attempted to put together a run in the Horizon League tournament as well. The Gwins took advantage of the bye into the quarterfinals by edging the Milwaukee Panthers on that Sunday 62-58. They were led by junior Sarah Cash. Cash came up just short of a double-double with 24 points on the day and 9 rebounds. Sophomore Natalie Myers also came up big off the bench as she posted 12 points by going 4 of 7 from behind the three-point line. The win sent the Gwins to the semifinals to do battle with top-seeded Green Bay. YSU took a 2-point lead into half, but Green Bay made the necessary adjustments, and the Phoenix would go on a 21-5 run in the third quarter, which would ultimately put the game out of reach for YSU, as they would fall 66-45. Some good news from the semifinal matchup is that once again, Sarah Cash put 12 points on the board near the end of the second quarter. She became just the 20th player in school history to eclipse 1,000 career points. The 1,000th point came on a free throw following an and one. The team's season will continue into March as it earned a bid to host Binghamton last night in the opening round of the Women's Basketball Invitational. YSU is playing in the WBI for the second time in the last 3 seasons, and it will look to have an even longer stay in the 16-team tournament than when it advanced to the semifinals in 2016. The Penguins played a postseason game in the Beagley Center for the 5th time since 2013. Youngstown State enters the WBI with a 16-15 record. And for complete stats and information from last night's game, be sure to visit ysusports.com.
It's been a rough start for the baseball team as they have been unable to pick up a win since beating Belmont on opening day. The team did travel to Pitt to face the Panthers in the first of their 2 meetings this season. However, the game will be postponed due to snow. The game is scheduled to be made up on April 4th at 3 p.m. Through the first 14 games of the season, sophomore transfer Blaze Glenn leads the way offensively with a .286 batting average while acquiring 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and a .449 slugging percentage. Second-year head coach Dan Bertolini and company will look for a fresh start as they set to open up conference portion of their schedule as they will host Milwaukee this weekend in the home opener at Eastwood Field. This will be a 3-game series with a doubleheader set for Saturday with Game 1 beginning at 1 p.m. and Game 2 following shortly after at 4. The 2 teams will then close out the series Sunday afternoon with first pitch slated for 1 p.m.
The softball team had a very busy spring break with 12 games placed on the schedule. The team would only have 11, however, as their match with the South Carolina Gamecocks would be canceled due to rain. It was a rough start to the 11-game stint, losing the first 6 games to the following teams: Morehead State, Albany, Eastern Kentucky, Winthrop, and twice to Charleston. The second half was much more successful for the Penguins as they would win 4 of the 5 played. A mercy 10-2 and convincing 11-5 victory over North Carolina A&T kicked things off. They would also defeat UNC Wilmington twice, 3-2 and 4-1 respectively. The team would drop a close match to Sacred Heart, however, 3-2. To conclude, the team ended spring break 4-7. After the pair of wins on Saturday afternoon, head coach Brian Campbell became the softball program's all-time winningest coach with 208 victories. The previous record was 207 that was held by Hall of Fame coach Ed Strauss, who coached the Gwins from 1985 to 1995. The team will return to Ohio next week to take on Kent State.
The men's and women's golf team were in action over the break. Starting with the men, they competed at the Jackrabbit Invitational March 9th through the 10th at South Dakota State. The team finished 12th as they scored .907 through the first 3 rounds and .297 in the final round. Freshman Kevin Shear scored .224 during the Invitational, while freshman C.J. Hughes and junior Dominic Carreno each posted scores of .230. This past week, the men competed at the Southern Intercollegiate Championship, where the team finished 18th. Freshman Ken Keller finished the one-day event with a score of .158, which led the YSU team. The men will be back in action on March 25th as they head to Virginia to participate in the Kings Mill Intercollegiate. Teeing over to the women's team, they were also in action over the break as they headed to Lake Mary, Florida to play in the Seminole State Invitational. The team finished 3rd out of 9 teams as they put together a score of .639 over the 2-round event. Leading the way for the Gwins was senior Courtney Schutt, who placed 6th individually by shooting a score of .154. This is the 3rd time this season Schutt has been YSU's top finisher. Also doing well for the Gwins was junior Megan Krieger, who jumped 6 spots from round 1 to 2 and ended up finishing 12th individually. She ended with a score of .160, which is a season best for the junior. The women will look to continue their strong play as they head to Marietta, Ohio to compete in the Marietta College Pioneer Classic starting on March 25th.
The bowling team started the Hawk Flight Invitationals in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey on Friday with 5 Baker matches. They won their first Baker's match versus Caldwell, unfortunately lost the next 4 matches by 7 pins or fewer. On Saturday, the Gwins played 5 traditional matches. They beat Robert Westland, LIU Post, and Franklin Pierce, going 3-2 on the day. YSU went 2-1 in bracket matches on the last day of the tournament. They beat Felician and Coltstown, both 4-1. The women finished in 9th place out of a total of 17 teams. The women will take the lanes again as they will hit the road to compete Friday, March 16th through the 18th at the Columbia 300 Music City Classic in Smyrna, Tennessee.
The swim and dive team sent 2 divers to the NCAA Zone C Diving Championships in Columbus last week. Seniors Bethany Glick and Mackenzie Stelter finished out their careers as Penguins. Both divers competed in the 1 and 3 meter dives at the meet. Congratulations to Bethany and Mackenzie on outstanding careers, and we wish them the best of luck in the future.
With the NFL draft quickly approaching, YSU held their football pro day Tuesday morning inside the Watts. Nearly half of the NFL teams were represented as 13 NFL organizations were in attendance, as well as 2 Canadian Football League organizations. On the offensive side of the ball, receivers Alvin Bailey, Stephon Derrick, and Damon Patterson took part, as well as tight end Kevin Rader and offensive lineman Justin Spencer. Patterson had the top 40 time with a time of 4.49 seconds and a broad jump measuring 10 feet 5 inches. Rader posted a vertical jump of 34 inches and had a 20-yard shuttle run of 4.37 seconds. Spencer would also go to work as he recorded the most reps with 20 on the bench press. Defensively, it was safety Jalen Powell and defensive backs Solomon Warfield and Billy Nico Hurst. Powell posted a 34.5-inch vertical while running a 4.740. Warfield would register a 10-foot-5-inch box jump as Hurst posted a 12.08 second time in the 60-yard shuttle run. Following the physical test, each of the Gwins went through position-specific drills with the scouts. The draft is set for April 26th. And that just about does it for us here at the Penguin Rundown. Very busy spring break for us, but now we're back in the action. Baseball and softball come home this week, so we look forward to that. For news, highlights, and more, be sure to visit YSUsports.com and be sure to check us out on social media on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, all at Penguin Rundown 1. I'm Dom Joseph.
And I'm Christina Sanovich.
We'll see you right here next week on the Penguin Rundown.